Imagine waking up not to comfort but to a nightmare. Gregor Samsa, a traveling salesman, opens his eyes to find himself transformed into a monstrous vermin. His back is a hard shell, his limbs thin and useless. Panic ripples through the household as his family, dependent on his income, confronts the horror behind his locked door. The chief clerk arrives demanding answers. Gregor, desperate to prove himself, opens the door, only to send the clerk fleeing and his mother fainting. His father, suddenly fierce, drives Gregor back with a stick. The family's love turns instantly to fear and revulsion. Gregor tries to speak, but only animal sounds emerge. The door becomes a wall between his old life and his new, monstrous reality. The transformation is not a dream, it is a brutal, physical fact that severs Gregor from his world. The bonds of family, once comforting, are shattered by terror and disgust. Gregor is no longer a son or provider, he is a thing to be hidden away. This is the beginning of his long, lonely descent into darkness. The shock fades, replaced by grim routine. Gregor, trapped in his insect body, clings to his old worries, debts, duty, family. His sister Grete brings him scraps of food, but her care is tinged with disgust. She avoids his gaze, cleaning his room quickly, more out of obligation than love. The family's resentment grows. Forced to work, they see Gregor as a burden, not a brother. Gregor listens through the door, hearing only complaints and misery. He is a ghost in his own home, his presence a secret shame. The story is not about adventure, but about slow, painful alienation. Gregor's humanity fades as his family's love turns to resentment and neglect. Gregor's world shrinks to his bedroom, a cage of silence and dust. He adapts to his new body, crawling on walls, but each adaptation pushes him further from his humanity. He hears his family's voices, their indifference growing, but he cannot make himself understood. Grete's compassion fades. She removes his furniture, stripping away the last traces of his identity. For her, he is just a creature. For Gregor, the loss is devastating. The door is rarely opened. He is fed scraps, left in filth, treated as less than human. Gregor retreats into darkness, his world reduced to a prison of neglect. His memory of being human becomes a constant, aching torment. Gregor's final days are marked by stillness and neglect. The family, now hosting lodgers, treats him as an inconvenience. One night, drawn by Grete's violin, Gregor crawls out, yearning for connection. The lodgers recoil in horror, and Grete's patience snaps. She insists they must get rid of it. Gregor is no longer her brother, but a problem to be solved. Hearing this, Gregor accepts his fate. He returns to his room feeling a sad peace. Alone, he dies quietly at dawn. His death brings relief, not grief. The charwoman disposes of his body without ceremony. The family, freed from their burden, steps into the sunlight, planning a brighter future. Gregor is quickly forgotten, a sacrifice erased by their newfound hope. The metamorphosis is not just about a man turning into a bug, it's about alienation. Gregor was isolated long before his transformation, valued only for his ability to provide. His family's love is transactional. When he can no longer work, he loses his worth. The story critiques a world that values people for their utility, not their humanity. Gregor's loss of voice symbolizes the pain of being misunderstood, of having an inner life no one sees. His tragedy is the existential dread of being unseen and unvalued. The metamorphosis is a mirror for our own lives, what defines our worth when we can no longer perform. Kafka forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about love, identity, and the conditions we place on both. Kafka's prose is filled with quiet devastation. Early on, Gregor thinks, "What a strenuous career it is that I've chosen, traveling day in and day out. You can never get to know anyone or become friendly with them." This reveals Gregor's dehumanization began long before his transformation. His life was already a grind of obligation and isolation. Near the end, Grete says, "We must try to get rid of it. We've done everything humanly possible to take care of it." In that moment, Gregor is no longer her brother but an object. The family's love has limits, and they absolve themselves of responsibility. These lines expose the chilling ease with which we can strip others of their humanity. The story asks, when do we stop seeing people as people? Kafka's words linger, forcing us to question the foundations of our own compassion. The metamorphosis leaves us with a haunting question: who are the real vermin? Gregor's family transforms too, from loving to callous, finding hope only after casting him aside. The story is a mirror, reflecting how we treat those who are different, unproductive, or inconvenient. It challenges us to examine the conditions we place on love and worth. Gregor's tragedy is universal. When our roles vanish, what remains of our identity? Kafka offers no easy answers, only a mirror, and what we see in it is the true metamorphosis.